Check this out, mums. What was I saying the other day about one of my frustrations being slimming clubs that don't show the whole story because people lose weight while they can stick to their plan because they're very simply eating a lot fewer calories, but then you see those come through the door, through your door. You get these flyers with these amazing testimonials and the before and after pictures, and you see them in the news, the success stories, and they lost 7 stone here and they've lost half their body weight there, and aren't they amazing? The bit you don't see is a year or a few years down the line, and check this out. This was an article by the Daily Mail online, and it covered what they call award-winning slimmers. Now, what I mean by that is most of the slimming clubs do, like, I don't know how often they do them, whether it's monthly, yearly, or whatever. They award us like a Slimmer of the Year, and they use that for publicity, and the story gets posted all over the press, all over the local press, wherever that person lives, and it's great publicity for the club. And now usually these happen right at the end of the person's weight loss journey. So they've been losing weight steadily, and they're right down to their target weight. And it's usually somebody who's got a great story behind them. Maybe they've overcome some real struggles and they've lost an enormous amount of weight as well. It's rarely going to be somebody who's just lost that last half a stone. It's going to be somebody who's lost, a good sort of 7, 8, 9 stone. But they reach their target weight, so they come off the program, they stop going to the classes, and what this shows, and there were many more people than this particular article, there were about 5 or 6 different people, all with a similar story. They regained all the weight. Now, when was the last time you saw a flyer come through your door about somebody who has been on this club, lost a ton of weight, great success story, and regained it all? You're not going to see that, are you? They're not going to tell you that. All of those stories are going to be hidden. And I'll tell you how they're really hard to find as well. Because there's these things you can do on the internet, and I know this because I have an internet business. If you can boost certain stories, so you can make them more visible, so they'll come up in your newsfeed and you'll come up on the first page of Google, and there are certain tactics you can use to make sure that if you searched a slimming club success stories, you're going to get all of those stories come up, and you're going to get a great load of stories that they want you to see. However, if you try and search for the same club's failures or regaining the weight, it's going to be hard to find those stories, because by the same token, there are techniques you can do online to get those stories off the internet, or very well hidden on the internet. So you rarely see those stories. On the other hand, if you have been to one of these clubs, or you know somebody who's been to one of those clubs, how many people do you know who have gone back to the club? I'll say, oh, I did that before and that worked for me, so I'm going to go back there. I'm like, hang on a minute. What do you mean you're going to go back there? You mean you didn't stay at your target weight? Oh, no, I put it back on again. Hang on, there's something wrong there. You left, you put all the weight back on again, so you go back, so you lose the weight, so you leave. Can you see how this is a fantastic business model for them, right? Because every time you leave the club, you put the weight back on, so you have to keep going back to them. And you think that it works because while you're there, you lose the weight. But actually, it's a complete fallacy, because you haven't learnt anything. All that shows is that so long as you're paying them money, you're losing weight, but they haven't actually taught you anything, because as soon as you stop paying the money, as soon as you stop going, you put the weight back on, and that really annoys me. I think that's a total injustice to you. It's totally undermining your intelligence, and I think you're being taken for a ride, and it really annoys me. So it's actually made me quite happy that this has come out, and I hope these kind of stories come out more and show these things in their true light. I know this is a bit of a rant, and I know there are lots of people out there, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for this, and people are going to say, oh, but I did really well and I kept the weight off. And yes, some people do, and that's fantastic. If it works for you, that is great, and I'm not slating that in any way. But what I'm trying to bring to light is there are many people who it doesn't work for, and you don't get told about them, and that's cherry picking the information that you get shown. And I think that's unfair, to only show you the good stories, the positive stories, and to not show you the other side of it. So as always, I know this is a bit of a rant, so please rant back at me. I don't mind if you've got an opposing opinion and you want to challenge me on it, please do. I'd love to hear some from people who disagree with me as well as agree. So let's get a bit of a conversation going on. And what do you think? Do you think these slimming clubs are good, bad? What's your experiences? Have you been success or not? Let me know. Okay, speak to you later. Bye.